All right, man, let's talk about the Knicks, who are now the fifth seed. They're pushing up on Cleveland for number 4. They're 11-4 in their last 15. They've won 8 in a row. They have not lost in a game that Josh Hart has played. Julius Randle just had a ridiculous buzzer beater against the Heat last night. And really, the shot making of Randle and Brunson has just been kind of nuts for a minute now. With Brunson, I would say the biggest thing is just how good he is at those like mid-rangers or shots in the paint, but are like right below the free throw line. And he gets there with a variety of like half spins and like between the legs dribbles that immediately become a crossover. And then once he gets to around that free throw line, man, whether it's floaters or like sort of these evasive layups, I mean, he's drawing a lot of fouls. So it's not as if he's avoiding contact or even like turnaround jumpers. It's just crazy the amount of shots he's making from there. And with Randle, it's kind of more a mix of everything, I guess. Like if you were going to look into the numbers, the one big difference is that he's not shooting as many long twos this season compared to last year or whatever. But still, I mean, you're getting like these crazy contested threes he's making. I mean, the buzzer beater against the Heat was wild, but I believe there was like a turnaround jumper he made from like 14 feet with about 30 seconds left or whatever. That was nuts. I'm sure you're going to get your like just simple attacking off the catch off of like Mitchell Robinson screening for Brunson and finding Randle in the corner or whatever. Randle will sprinkle in his plays of just bringing it up court himself and just trying to cook his guy, or he'll be in the post, or he'll have like little pick and pop plays run for him or whatever. His three-point attempts are much higher than they are last season. Like, it's just the shot making is just kind of crazy with Randle right now. But that's not the only thing with this offense. You know, between Josh Hart, Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, all these guys can put the ball on the floor and keep the play moving. Like, let's say it's attacking off the catch or whatever. And I think this is a really big deal because if you were to just look at the numbers, like they're towards the top of the league in ISOs per game. They're a little closer to the middle of the pack, but a step towards the top of the league in pick and rolls per game as well. And yet the ball is still zipping around. And I do like when they sprinkle in some guard screens or guard wing screens, if you will. So like RJ might screen for Brunson or whatever. I mean, it could even be something as basic as just like Brunson throws it to Josh Hart in the corner, who will then attack off the catch and then find Mitchell Robinson or Hartenstein underneath the basket for something easy, you know? And I guess to talk about Josh Hart, it feels cool to see Hart find the perfect team, and I'm confident in saying that. He's only played like 8 games for him so far. Because, of course, we know Tibbs loves defense, and we'll talk about the defense in a second with these guys. But also the simple stuff of like just keeping the ball swinging sometimes, where you could then find like Quickley, who could then, as I keep saying, attack off the catch, make the next thing happen. Like it's really a key thing with their offense, but also, I mean, Hart, he's also a good enough ball handler to make something happen. Like he's just the right amount of playing off of Brunson and Randle while keeping the offense moving and still being able to initiate if he really has to in a pinch. And he still grabs rebounds. As for Quickley, I mean, I just gave him role player all-star, so I guess I could just reiterate what I said in that video. Like Quickley, defensively, I mean, he's closing out to guys like a madman. He's using his long arms to be a help defender. He's fighting around screens like his life depends on it. Offensively, he takes some gutsy shots, like he'll shoot a pull-up 3 in transition if he's got the opportunity. And he's still got enough downhill juice to get to the floater or to the basket. And, you know, if you start doing most improved player, I don't know where Quickley ends up exactly, because it's not like he went from like 10 points a game to 30, but he's been big. As for RJ is probably the biggest X factor in the league right now, man, where if the threes are dropping, if he's attacking off the catch well enough, and if he's able to just be shifty enough to where he can get by his guy and just finish with physicality as opposed to like an awkward footwork layup floater thing, then the Knicks just become kind of terrifying. They do run some corner actions for him where like he'll get it and then maybe come up and get a handoff action from like Hartenstein or something. So they do try to sprinkle in some extra stuff for him besides just simple pick and rolls. I mean, RJ does average 19 a game. It's just the efficiency is not great. But another thing with RJ, and really just all these perimeter guys besides Brunson, is that Josh Hart has either mirrored or played more minutes than a lot of guys in this team since they got him, which I'm sure Tibbs just loves the hell out of. Competing for minutes, not in the sense of playing or not, but more so, are you going to play 26 minutes tonight or are you going to play 32? As for Quentin Grimes, so Grimes has been getting pretty tough defensive matchups. I mean, he had Jimmy in their last Heat game. He had Tatum in the one before that. In the Wizards game recently, he started the game on Beal in the fourth quarter. Quickley and Hart were in there over Grimes and RJ, and so Hart was on Beal. But still, Grimes got that matchup to start. In the Pelicans game, in the minutes I saw, he was guarding CJ. The interesting thing with Grimes to me is that he'll pull off these plays where like he's attacking off the catch or attacking a closeout, whatever you want to call it. And he has these like bursts of speed, and I think some of it is because he like anticipates, like he's really good at like kind of beginning his drive before he actually catches the ball, I guess. But still, he pulls these off, and then I have this moment of like, perhaps there's some more upside as a scorer. But yeah, he gets the tough matchups, and I guess this can segue into the defense. So as far as the bigs, Mitch is typically in drop, although sometimes it's a higher drop where it's like he'll start up high and then back up, if you will. Although I will say in that fourth quarter against the Wizards, he was a little higher up on Beal for a couple of those plays. And hey, you know what, man? If you want to listen to all the advanced lineup numbers and stuff, they pretty much all say the same thing. When Mitchell Robinson's in the game, the Knicks are way better. Screen setting, protecting the rim, rebounds, all the classic center stuff. Hartenstein, in the minutes I've seen, is typically a little higher up on screens. And the Knicks also do this thing where they're not just going to give you the switch all the time. The guy you're trying to get switched onto kind of hedges, so the original guy can fight around the screen and get back to you, if you will. So the idea here is like you're not going to be able to get away from Josh Hart that easily. I remember when I was talking about their defense earlier in the season, the thing that I criticized the most was it felt like their help from guards was sometimes just a little off, where they were just giving up unnecessary corner threes pretty much. And it seems like it's been cleaned up. Like if I dive into the numbers, they're giving up almost the same amount of corner three attempts, but when I watch it, it just all makes more sense. Where it'll be like, let's say Quickly is free roaming a little bit for a defensive possession, or if anything, he's just playing off of his guy in the corner pretty aggressively. But he'll do that when that side of the floor is like kind of cramped, so it's not as easy to get that pass to that corner. And the other thing that makes sense is their rotation, because at this point, like Fournier's not playing, Derrick Rose isn't playing, McBride's minutes are kind of lower, Obi's at the most playing about 12, 13 minutes a game. Like Tibbs has pretty much said we're going into playoff mode in the beginning of March here. And they got a lot of momentum. Obviously, the MSG crowd is nuts. And I mean, I'm just thinking about a matchup of them versus the Cavs, which is the most likely thing right now. And I mean, we'll see who would end up getting home court there, but that just sounds like a hell of a round one matchup, man.